Oh,
Doesn't work.
no, just the first two until I have a clean page.
Oh, substitution. All you do is solve for one, then you substitute the value for the like for this one. X equals.
Okay, everybody. So you solved the top two by graphing, right?
Oh, wrong one.
All right, let's go ahead and just do, I don't know, we'll start with number 3. We'll do an easy one and then maybe a hard one. And then I bet once we do 1 or 2, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. Easy peasy. So if we take a look at number 3 on your worksheet there, I'll recopy it here for the notebook so I can submit it easily. X minus 6y equals 24. And then 6x plus 5y equals negative 20. Okay, and our directions are to solve by substitution. Okay, so solving by substitution is an algebraic way of solving a system, which means that you can use it on any system. It doesn't matter. So even if it doesn't cross at nice points, doesn't matter because substitution will get you the exact answer, which is so nice, right? So those limitations that we have with graphing, we don't have it with substitution. Doesn't matter if the answer comes out to be 1,000, doesn't matter because I don't need to graph it. So I don't really care what the number is. Step 1, get one variable alone in one equation. It doesn't matter which variable, it doesn't matter which equation. So look at them both and just pick who's easiest. So in the top one, it'd be super easy to get x by itself, right? If I just add 6y to the other side. So step 1, get one variable alone in one equation. So for me, I'm just going to take that top equation and I'm literally just going to add 6y to the other side. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. Messing up already. So now I know that x is equal to 24 plus 6y. And now all I have to do is the substitution part. Why this method is called substitution. So I'm literally just going to take everything that x is equal to, which I have just figured out is 24 plus 6y. So I'm going to take all of this and I go to the other equation, 6x plus 5y equals negative 20. And I'm just going to replace x with everything that's in this box. So that x, I'm now going to swap out for everything that x is equal to, 24 plus 6y in this case. So it looks like this. So that would be step 2. Sometimes kids mess up right here because they solve for a variable and then they take what that variable is equal to and put it back into that same equation. You can't do that. That's not going to get you anywhere. So make sure it's the other equation that you haven't touched yet. And now hopefully you can see what to do because now I only have one variable. So I can solve for that one variable that remains. So that's step 3, solve for remaining variable. Again, this is really just a crash course because I know you guys have learned this at some point in the past. So I'm just kind of going through this quite quickly. So let's just go ahead and solve 6 times 24. What's that? Is it 144?
Yeah.
Yes. Get your y's together. And then just solve for that y that's there. I get -4. But we're not done, because remember, the solution to a system is an ordered pair. It's an x comma y. You can't just stop with this. It's not just a single number. So what am I supposed to do? What's my other number? I know the y, but how do you figure out what the x is going to be? Take ahead. Exactly. I go right back over here. Isn't x equal to 24 plus 6y? But now I know what y is. So now I can figure out what x is. So for my fourth step, I'm going to take that answer and go find the other variable that I don't know yet. So I'm just going to go back over here. X is equal to 24 plus 6 times -4 in this case. Oh, how interesting. So x just so happens to end up being 0. Don't think that you're wrong when you get 0 as an answer. Isn't 0 a number like anybody else? Couldn't two lines cross at the point 0, -4? Of course they can. But for whatever reason, when you get 0, I don't know, sometimes kids are like, it must be no solution. No, what are you talking about? So let's just get our other steps down. Solve the moving variable, take that answer. And solve for other variable. And then simply write your answer as an ordered pair. Remember, it's always the x first, then the y. It doesn't matter the order in which you found them in. So my final answer is going to be 0, -4. Done. You could check this answer if you wanted. You should be able to take 0, -4 and plug it into both originals, and it should work. If it doesn't, you did something wrong. Thoughts? Easy? You remember it now? Do you see it? Okay, so out of 4 through 10, anybody have a preference? Pick one more that looks bad. None of them look that bad. 4 through 10, everybody got a preference?
9.
9, you got it. All right, so let's do 9 together. Okay, so I have this. I say to myself, okay, I need to, according to step 1, I need to get one variable alone in one equation. So if you take a look-see-loo, there is definitely one of them that's easier to get by itself than any of the others. Which one? The second one, and I would get y by itself, right? Because all I have to do is add the 2x over. With the first one, you'd have to move 1 over and divide by 4. That's 2 steps. No, thank you. If I can do just one step, I will do just one step. So let's just take that one, add 2x to the other side. And it just turns into y equals 2x. Great. Now that I have step 1 done, It says substitute in what the variable is equal to in the other equation. All right, so y is equal to all of this, 2x. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my other equation that I haven't touched yet. And in the place of y, I'm going to substitute in 2x, hence the name of this method, substitution. So I now have 4x plus 4 times, not y anymore, but now 2x equals 0. Once you have done that step, you should only have one variable left. If you still have two variables, something's wrong. Stop now. Do not go and get $200 yet. We got to fix it first, and then you can go get your $200. All right, now I only have one variable left, so I can solve for that remaining variable. What is 0 divided by 12? It's a 0. Don't get nervous. It's a 0. What do I do with that? Well, yes, I take that answer and I plug it back in to the other one to figure out what y is. I know what x is, but now I need to find out what y is. It just so happens that when I do that, y ends up being 0 also. Am I wrong? Did we mess up? No. And there's such a quick, easy way that you can check. Take the point 0, 0 and plug it in. Does it work in both equations? Yes. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. That's my answer. The answer is 0, 0. Can't two lines cross at the origin? Sure. They did right here. I know what you're thinking. What about if I had parallel lines or lines that had infinite solutions? What would that look like if I'm trying to solve by substitution? Great question. I don't know off the top of my head if any of these are, I assume they are, but I don't know which ones are. So I'm just going to make one up. Check this out. Was everybody okay with this? Are you done? Did you need anything? No? Okay, good. Let's try to solve this system by substitution. Okay, if I gave you this, x minus y equals 8 and 2x minus 2y equals 16. All right, so first thing we should do, if we're going to solve by substitution, get one variable alone in one equation. This one's not on your paper, so you might want to just jot this one down somewhere on the side, wherever you can fit it. I would take the top one and probably just add y to the other side, right? Then you have x all by itself, nice and easy. So let's do that. If I add y to both sides, I'll just rewrite it. I always get nervous like with the notes. Can you follow along with what I've done? If I don't write it down, probably not. It's so easy like when I'm talking, so you know, like, oh yeah, that's where that came from. But if you're looking at it later, you'll be like, how'd you get there? So any hoosers, there it is. Now I'm going to take everything that x is equal to, and I'm going to stick it in the other equation in place of x this time, right? Because that's what I got, x was equal to this. So I'm going to replace x with 8 plus y. Do this math. Looks like I have some like terms on the left-hand side. Positive 2y minus 2y. Look what happens, right? These two are going to cancel each other out. So I'm left with 16 equals 16, but I don't have variables anymore. What does this mean? That's infinite solutions, because that is true, right? 16 does equal 16. So if you are left with a true statement and everything else has fallen away, or, I mean, I guess it depends how you solve this, because you could end up with just y equals y, and there's nowhere else to go. So if you are left with a true statement at the end, but there's nothing else for you to do, that means that you have infinite solutions. So in other words, the two equations, if you were to go back, that's a kind of a nice way to check yourself. You can go back and you can now get them both in slope-intercept form. Or if you happen to notice, just take this bottom one, say you could divide everything by 2. So if you notice, oh yeah, she just took that one and times it all by 2, divide it all by 2, and then you get the same exact equation. Anyway, so true statement. So our answer would just be infinite solutions. Because again, that's just the two equations. They're exactly the same. So if you were to graph them, those are the two lines that are literally one on top of another. So we don't say all reals. Remember, we talked about that on Friday. We're going to say infinite solutions. So what does it look like if they're parallel? What would happen instead? But what would I like if I'm solving the problem? How do I know it's going to be no solution? What would happen, Matt?
If it says something like, if it's an untrue statement.
Exactly. So instead of having something that makes sense here, it'd be like 5 equals 16. Well, no, it doesn't. So if you get a bogus solution right there, that means that it would be no solution. Does that make sense? I'll do one. If anybody, I'm going to do it right now. So if you want to watch me do it, that's great. If not, you are welcome to start the homework, which I think I'm going to have you just do up to number 10. So yeah, just the front. So if you would finish the front for me, because we only have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and do a parallel one. So if you feel comfortable and you want to move on, you can. If you want to watch, I'll do one that ends up being parallel. Okay, so if I were going to do this one, here's my original system, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So let me, oh wait, did I mess this up? No, I don't think I did. Oh, we're gonna find out. Okay, so I'm gonna take the top one, get the variable by itself, so I would just add y to both sides. All right, I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to plug it into the other equation in place of x. Oh no, I didn't mess up. Okay, good. So for my remaining variable, again, my y's just so happen to cancel out. Positive 3y minus 3y. Oh, they're gone, but look what's left behind. 24 equals 10. No, it doesn't. So if you are left with some bogus statement like this, that's when you have a false statement, so there is no solution. So a false statement means no solution. And there it is, friends. How to solve by substitution. It's just that easy. Just a couple of steps. I do believe that these still work out to be nice points. So I don't think any of the answers come out as weird decimals or fractions. So if you get any, double check. It could happen in real life, of course, but I don't think it happens on this worksheet. Okay.
Do you want us to turn it like this or just move it
Take it to the whole front side. That'd be fine. Yep.
to the top?
Probably 5 -8.